How we doing, Red? Sam from United People's TV here with a match reaction after Man United go limping out of the Europa League to Liverpool. It's what we all expected going into the game, given that we were 2 goals down, but it doesn't make it any easier to swallow getting beaten by the bin dippers over 2 legs. And they were good for it because, again, United were very good in that first 45 minutes. And then that goal from Coutinho sucked the momentum out of it. And from there, it was downhill. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through a list of points that I've made from that game that really stood out for me. Because, I could go over the top here. Because Van Gaal needs to fucking go. He's needed to go since December. And he's still here. Does this mean it's one step closer to him finally getting sacked when he loses to Man City on Sunday? Maybe. But I thought that when he lost 4 games in a row in December. And he managed to keep his job. But there was just so many just baffling decisions and things in that game. Why are Fellaini and Carrick starting over Morgan Schneiderlin? Please, somebody in the comments, tell me a logical reason why that has to happen. And why did Schweinsteiger only come on in, I don't know what it is, like 75 minutes? You see his frustrated tackle back in on Adam Lallana. That was because he sat on the bench. He couldn't do anything. Scholes said it last week that no players put any sort of fight and tackling against that Liverpool side. Schweinsteiger wanted to do that. He's sitting on the bench. Should have started him or Schneiderlin or fucking both of them. At the start of the game, he had Lingard in at number 10 and Massa on the right wing. Yes, he changed that. But why in the hell would you ever start like that? Especially when you've got Milner on the I don't know. The whole thing just reeks of Van Gaal doesn't know what he's doing. I thought that under Moyes, when we went 1-0 down against Man City after a few minutes, we then had Fellaini and Cleverley playing as wingers. For me, Van Gaal didn't know what he was doing tonight. That first 45 minutes was in our hands. And yes, it was some bad decision-making by Varela. Sorry, bad defending. And some quite poor goalkeeping from David De Gea. I kind of would have expected him to save that. His position was a bit wrong. And that killed the game flat after that. Anthony Martial had a brilliant penalty, ice-cool penalty. And it gave us the chance to go and take it. But we had opportunities in that first half. We had Mata when the ball dropped to him. We had Rojo when Blind did the long ball and Fellaini dropped it back into him. Martial had a couple of chances as well. And Rashford also had a couple of chances. We couldn't finish them. But one thing I really want to pick up on here is how terrible Van Gaal's subs were. We look at Varela's gone off at half-time. Yes, it was a pretty poor bit of defending for that. But, I don't think it was too bad in that first half. But it's the double standards from Van Gaal that I can't get my head around. You see players like Fellaini getting 90 minutes. Again tonight, 90 minutes. And to be fair, he actually played well. I'm talking across the course of the whole season here. Memphis, him getting dropped out of the team as soon as he had a slightly bad game. Yet players like Fellaini keep getting played every single fucking week. There's nothing worse than double standards. If you're going to apply it to one player, apply it to the next. We're frustrated as fans watching this. Imagine what it must be like being the players, being Schweinsteiger and Memphis on that bench and Schneiderlin going, what the fuck, Louis? What are they supposed to do? How are they supposed to get motivated? Because I don't know why Van Gaal is making these decisions anymore. I haven't thought that for a long time. And what is Giggs doing as assistant manager? I don't think he can get away from this scot-free. Came up for like 3 minutes from the end there, geeing up the players from the sidelines. Giggs, if you're the assistant manager and you're seeing these lineups he's playing and you're seeing what he's trying to tell these players to do, you say, hold up, Louis, that's wrong. That's what an assistant is there for. An assistant is not there to give Van Gaal a blowjob. Giggs is there to tell him what he is doing right and doing wrong and helping him make decisions. At the moment, Giggs just looks like his lapdog and has all season. I'm pretty disappointed with that. Even David Moyes turned it around against Olympiacos. That was the worst game we had under Moyes, that 2-0 away in Greece. Came back and Van Persie scored a hat-trick. Nobody expected it, and nobody expected it tonight. We had the opportunity because Martial put us ahead, and we just lapsed. One moment, fair enough, it was a great goal by Philippe Coutinho, but you saw how shit that second half was in comparison to that first half. The players lost it, and I don't know how at this point that Van Gaal has not lost the dressing room because, he's lost the fans. Everybody knows at this point that Van Gaal has lost the fans. So what must the players be thinking? Heading into this game at the weekend against Man City, I'm scared. I don't know what to expect. When Aguero is going to be skinning Blind inside out, you've got Silva. I don't even want to think about it because maybe this is the point where we had David Moyes when he played Liverpool and he played Man City within the space of a week. He lost both of those games and he was sacked. Now, Is that going to happen with Van Gaal? I think if he was going to go before the end of the season, he would have already gone. But he's still here, and he continues to be our manager, and he continues to frustrate. Had we had started Schneiderlin in that game, had we had brought Schweinsteiger on earlier, you know, he's making the 3 fucking subs he's made in a game we need to score 3 goals, are 2 fullbacks and a fucking central midfielder. I'm trying to mentally, logically explain these decisions, but I can't. Louis van Gaal is making himself look like a madman. And the fans had lost patience a long time ago, and everybody else is laughing at us. You heard the Liverpool fans in the away end saying Scholes was right, your team is shite. We can't even disagree with that anymore. And the point where you're agreeing with Scousers singing in the Old Trafford away end, that really sums up how shit United are at the moment and how shit we're going to continue to be until Louis van Gaal is sacked as Manchester United manager. At the moment, he's like a horse that has fallen over the fence at the Grand National. You just got to put him out of his misery because he's not putting us out of our misery, and it's just getting worse. And it will continue to do so until we're mathematically out of the race for the top 4. We have Europa League next year. And then who's going to be our manager? Jose Mourinho or Ryan Giggs? Who knows? Let me know your comments in below. I've just lost my train of thought now because watching that is so frustrating, but so expected from United now that it's not a surprise. As I said, leave your comments below, drop a like on the video as always, and subscribe to United People's TV if you're new. And Ira will be speaking to a few fans outside Old Trafford, so make sure you come back here for the fan cams as well. But that's it. Take it easy, Reds, and don't have nightmares.